long. We may not have a chance to show it because we have 140 of those available. But Jay, we're moving now to, oh wow, this is so pretty. This is brand new. Our multi-gem inlaid pendant with the necklace from $129. We're doing this at $99. It's on FlexPay for under $20. And you're getting black obsidian in the necklace itself. And then we have orange coral and red coral and purple turquoise. And I will say anything that Jay does in purple turquoise always goes. So if you love something unique, if you want something super duper interesting, this is for you. And we will have earrings that will go right along with this really nicely. Tell us the story here, Jay.
Well, this is just kind of fun. This is one of our, actually he's not a designer, it's one of our lapidarists, brought this color combination to me. And he said, you know, he's just playing with it. And he said, look, I just really love this color combination. And so, you know, I got to looking at, I always try to encourage people. And I just thought, you know what, this is really kind of different. We haven't done anything like this. I've never combined these three materials together before. So I thought, well, you know what, let's do it. We'll put it together. And so here it is, brand new. Like I said, this is a kind of a first shot for this particular person. He's not really a designer per se, but he's one of our lapidarists that does a lot of our really high-end inlay. He's known for his his eye for doing color combination. He does a lot of our cornrow. And so when he came up with this look and came up with these materials and combined them, I thought, you know, he does this on a daily basis. I mean, this is what he does. He works with all the natural materials. He puts things together. So I thought, you know, I'll give it a shot. And it really turned out better than I even ever imagined it would.
And talk to us about how difficult it is to inlay.
Well, and this is not just, okay, it's a dome inlay if you look at it. Okay, these aren't flat inlays. If you looked at it really close, you'll see that it's domed. You've got the black agate, you've got the orange coral, then you have a fine line of black agate that separates that, and then you use the purple turquoise. Now, everybody knows, okay, turquoise does not come in purple. It's one of the few materials that we use. It's enhanced. The difference is not, now this isn't dyed, it's enhanced. They take other minerals and along with a very light, it's almost like a very soft sky blue turquoise. It's actually a very, very, very light, very, very soft blue, almost like a sky blue, very clear. And they take that and they have two other minerals that they mix it with, that they put it, and then they put it in an oven and they bake it, if you want to call it bake. They raise the temperature. It's very, very low. They bring it up, they bring it very low. It takes about 6 weeks for the whole process, and it's very, very slow. And they have to really be careful with how they do it, because if they overheat it, then when they infuse the other minerals, it'll crack it.
Wow.
So it comes out, and we started doing this.
Look at that.
But look at the, okay, and look at the size of this, okay?
There's the three-dimensional quality. But look at how much of that.
Okay, and do you see how it's domed on the top? It's not a flat inlay. So when they do that, they have to be really careful. When they, okay, number one, they set at the inlay. First, they cut the black agate, they cut the base, then they carve out. They take a Dremel and they carve out, and that's not easy to do with agate because agate is so hard. They use a diamond Dremel. They take that, they score that all out, and then they cut the materials. They start to inlay it. So they inlay it and then they dome it. So they take it and they have to be really careful, and that's where that all comes in. So you're buying something, if you look at the pendant, it's three-dimensional, okay? It's not just flat. Now, they could have taken that.
Right.
They could have just taken that, inlaid it, and then just ground it off, right, and made it flat. But then you wouldn't have that three-dimensional aspect to it, and then you would have lost the you know, kind of the continuity in the design.
Well, not only that, too, Jay, but the way that they've faceted that beautiful black obsidian, I mean, it is, let me just show everybody this. It sparkles like there are diamonds on there. I mean, and that amazes me. Look at how, you see how it twinkles?
See,
I mean, it's not a dull black.
No, and these are all, okay, so they've taken this, and these are all hand faceted. And when I say hand faceted, they're not machine done. They do have faceting machines, but these aren't, these are all faceted individually, one at a time, carefully by hand.
And look at that.
And then we faceted, I faceted that because what I wanted to do is I want to have focal point. So I changed that out several times. Originally I did it in coral, and then I did it in the purple turquoise, but it just didn't really kind of flow. So then I decided, I'll go back with the black again, and I did that and fast, and it really turned out nice.
By the way, 18 inches in the length. It comes with a 2 3/4 inch extender. So it can go down to 20 3/4 of an inch in the length. We're gonna show it one more time on, but we're gonna say hi to Karen in Arizona. Karen, welcome to HSN. You're with Jay and Connie.
Well, thank you.
Hi. Now, have you?
If I could afford it, I would buy every single piece you offer. I absolutely love your stuff.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
I ordered 3 pieces today. The Sonoran Kishi style bead necklace that you just showed.
Phenomenal piece.
Yes.
And very rare.
The pink opal stud earrings, and then that 3-color turquoise ring. It's on wait list because my size is already sold out, but hopefully maybe somebody will return it. I don't know my size.
Karen, let me
Anyway.
ask you a question. If someone's never shopped with Jay before, what would you say to them?
I would say go for it. I mean, it's phenomenal jewelry, and it is absolutely so well made. And some of the pieces you offer just blow my mind, I'm telling you.
That's cool. What part of Arizona?
I'm Karen from Kingman, Arizona.
Oh,
so
Kingman's-
I've talked to you before.
Yeah, so you know the deal, right? Kingman, Arizona. Yeah.
I do.
And you got Turquoise Mountain and Kingman both right there. So that's fabulous. Yeah, I love to go back there. In fact, that's where I met my wife. And we actually met in the Kingman mine.
I swear that.
Did she work there? Did she work there?
No. Sheila was. She had the charity there in.
Okay.